let's chat about some things related to these best ball drafts, because basically I started drafting whenever Underdog came out, and
you basically invented drafting on Underdog.
Yeah. so I've been doing all these slow drafts, and it just made me realize kind of how polarizing this running back situation is. Because if you don't have the first 6 or 7 picks, you're put into some very precarious territory. Peter, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't, because all you do is you throw your hands back and you just lap up the anti-fragility, the discomfort, but knowing that you're giving yourself a chance to win $500,000, $200,000 here. That's what you do, Dave.
You're chipping in an extra 300,000.
Yeah, I'm matching the prize pool.
Like I did this, the Best Ball Mania draft. Like you said, there is $1 million best ball tournament with Underdog, and this was my first one. My first live one. So the slow drafts were like 8 hours per pick. So I hadn't made it past like round 3 or 4. So I didn't like realize how crazy it can get. And then it's like all of a sudden I keep on just drafting wide receivers after wide receiver after wide
because
receiver.
Every time you go to pick, you're like, the best pick is a wide receiver.
Right. And then
go off, King.
I'm left. So listen to this. It was a Bills Falcons stack. And so I drafted.
Is Kitchen really going to make us listen to a team he drafted?
Yeah, he's literally going full fantasy douche right now. Like, this is such a tough scene.
Hopkins, Jones, A-Rob, Calvin Ridley, Stephon Diggs, John Brown. And then after that, there were no more wide receivers because I realized I had to draft running backs. Listen to this like gross pool of running backs.
Can't wait.
Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, A.J. Dillon, Rashad Penny, Raquel Armstead, Adrian Peterson, Benny Snell Jr. So I end up drafting 6 wide receivers and then 7 running backs. But those running backs
aren't even going to see the field.
Why did you draft Rashad Penny just while we're here?
I needed
amazing, dude.
I needed running backs, and this was like round 16 or 17.
I mean, I believe in anti-fragility. I just not so much in the 4th running back on the Seahawks, ever getting touches. That's a bridge too far for me.
I mean, eventually he's going to get all the touches. Eventually it will happen. If you know that Seahawks roster. But what's your thought process, Davis, on like roster construction? 18 rounds.
I'm registering us. Registering us.
Yeah, go for it, Pete.
Ahead.
Yeah.
So obviously you need to stack both your quarterbacks. Entering in an unstacked team is basically giving away your entry and paying the rake for other people who are going about things the right way. There is probably a little bit of in best ball. It is better than in weekly management to pound running backs early, but I think we are going to stick to our modified 0 RB principles in this draft and not be taking Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon, DeAndre Swift, those style of guys. Though we do need to remain flexible because in best ball, guys like Tony Pollard, Chase Edmonds, Darrington Evans, these guys are going to rack up weeks and weeks of zeros at picks that you need rounds 10 through 14. So I'm more open in this format to taking running backs early.
Okay, you didn't really answer my question about like roster construction though. From a
2 6 8 2, 2 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 2 tight ends.
Pete, you agree with that?
I mean, I think there's some flexibility based on at the onesie position if you're reaching for an earlier tight end versus a late one. But yeah, in general, I think that's probably a good benchmark.
Didn't we see last year where teams with 3 quarterbacks advanced farther than the teams that had 2 quarterbacks? I want to see like every year, it's like every other 2 quarterbacks, 3 quarterbacks, where the optimal number is like 2.5 quarterbacks.
Yeah. We do have David Gamboa, who does marketing for Underdog in the chat. He says you will be able to edit your dog avatar in the future. Winky emoji. There you go. Breaking news. So Tuttle can get his Underdog lady avatar up there. That has to become your Underdog avatar.
Suzanne Maldini. Put a name on it.
All right. So what draft are we doing?
I registered us for one of the $25 Mania one with the 200,000 up top. And you guys have to decide right now if you are going to PayPal me $6.25 to have a share of this, or if I'm going to win the $200,000 on my own. No free rides.
Do you take Venmo?
Yeah, I'll take Venmo.
Yeah, I'll Venmo.
What's your Venmo?
Yeah. What's my Venmo?
We have to decide
so it
now?
is. My Venmo is PETER-OVERZET. That is my Venmo. My PayPal is just my email. If last year during the Bankroll Challenge, someone did send me $100 to keep the Bankroll Challenge afloat. I did send that back because I have high character.
I once had to send Pete a massive Venmo because he just paid for it. He just paid for everything when we were in New York, and I just paid him after. But also was included in that was a couple losing Laird props when we went to the Giants game. So it was a pretty big Venmo that I sent Pete.
I don't know why it says we still need 2 people for this draft. Get in this, guys.
Yeah. So once you do it, it'll take a minute before we be able to start, but you can tell us what our draft position is. I'm just telling you.
Shoot out a tweet with the link.
If you don't have like the first 6 picks, it's tough.
Yeah, because then you're like in Derrick Henry territory.
I mean, and no one wants to be in that
nobody
territory.
wants
Derrick Henry is.
Look,
go ahead, Davis.
I think you can take Derrick Henry in this at 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's very rational.
I mean, it would be a very Swolecast draft to start this team with Derrick Henry. It's almost something we have to do.
I also think in this format you can take Miles Sanders in the first round as well.
Miles Sanders, man.
What do you think about like if we get the 12th overall pick? I did do one draft where I started Kelsey Kittle at 12 and 13, and Did
you take Jimmy Garoppolo?
This was not a tournament team. This was just one of their $3, $5, $10, 12-man.
Yeah, in a weird way, I kind of like Kelsey more in the cash games, like in the top 3 pay, because it's so hard to get that stack with Mahomes.